What's up, football fans? Welcome back to the channel. If you've been following the college football playoff, you know there's been a massive debate brewing. Should group of 5 teams even be in the playoff? After we saw some blowouts in the first round, everyone's got an opinion. Today, we're breaking down the real story behind the CFP bracket, the upsets that DAD happen, and why kicking out the underdogs might be the worst idea for college football. Before we dive in, smash that like button and subscribe if you love college football content. Let's get into it. All right, let's talk about what actually went down in the first round of this year's 12-team college football playoff. Oregon, the number 1 seed, handled James Madison 51-34. Ole Miss absolutely dominated Tulane 41-10. And yeah, those weren't pretty for the group of 5 schools. But here's where it gets interesting. The real upset of the first round? Miami shocked Texas A&M on the road, 10-3. This wasn't some offensive shootout. This was a straight-up defensive war in the trenches. The Hurricanes sacked Texas A&M quarterback Marcel Reed 7 times. And in the final seconds, Reed threw a game-ending interception in the end zone. Texas A&M came into this game at 11-0 through their first 11 games, their best start since 1992. They were ranked number 3 in the country at one point. And they got bounced in the first round at home in front of over 104,000 fans. That's college football, baby. Meanwhile, Alabama had to rally from 17 points down to beat Oklahoma 34-24. And Ohio State demolished Tennessee 42-17. So before we start crying about blowouts, remember, power conference teams got embarrassed too. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. People are saying group of 5 teams don't belong because they got blown out. Oregon beat James Madison by 17, and Ole Miss crushed Tulane by 31 points. Fair criticism, right? Here's the reality check nobody wants to hear. Blowouts are normal in the college football playoff. Since the CFP started in 2014, the average margin of victory has been 17.5 points. That's not a group of 5 problem. That's a playoff problem. 71% of all CFP games have been decided by double digits. Last year in the first round, when it was all power conference teams, the games were decided by an average of 19.3 points, and there were 0 upsets. Ohio State beat Tennessee by 25 points. Penn State destroyed SMU by 4 touchdowns. So where was all this outrage last year? And get this. Group of 5 teams in the CFP have lost by an average of 21.5 points, compared to the overall average of 17.5. Yeah, it's worse, but not by some astronomical amount. The difference between a competitive playoff and an embarrassing one is literally 4 points. Here's what people forget. Access equals opportunity. You can't have Cinderella stories if Cinderella isn't invited to the ball. Everyone talks about parity and competition, but what they really want is a closed system where only the richest programs get to play. Remember when Northern Illinois, a group of 5 team, went on the road and beat Notre Dame as a 4-touchdown underdog this past season? Yeah, that happened. Notre Dame ended up being the national runner-up, and they got smoked by a Mid-American Conference team in the regular season. One game is all it takes to prove that upsets can happen. Cincinnati made the 4-team playoff in 2021 and competed. Boise State earned their spot in 2024. These teams aren't just showing up for participation trophies. They're earning their way in through undefeated or 1-loss seasons against solid competition. The real question is this: do we want college football to be about opportunity and merit? Or do we want it to be a country club for the Blue Bloods? Because if we go down the path of excluding group of 5 schools, we're basically saying that money matters more than what happens on the field. Let me tell you what's really happening here. The big programs want to break away. They want to form a super league or some kind of almighty alliance where it's just the biggest brands playing each other. They're tired of sharing playoff money with smaller schools. They're tired of the possibility, however small, that a group of 5 team might crash their party and take their spot. And here's the kicker. Even if they do that, the games won't get much closer. The average margin of victory for power programs is 17.5 points versus 21.5 for group of 5 teams. You're talking about a 4-point difference, so you're going to blow up the entire system for marginally closer games? What you will lose is the magic. No more magical runs. No true underdogs. No hope for smaller programs to stay competitive on the field or in recruiting. It becomes a closed ecosystem where the same 15 teams just cycle through every year, and everyone else is left fighting for scraps in a second-tier league that nobody cares about. Is that really what we want? Because once that genie is out of the bottle, there's no putting it back. Look, I get it. Watching blowouts isn't fun. Nobody tunes in to see a 41-10 game unless their team is doing the stomping. But lopsided results are a feature of playoff tournaments across all of amateur sports, not just college football. March Madness has blowouts. The College World Series has blowouts. But you know what those tournaments also have? Unforgettable upsets. UMBC over Virginia. Florida Gulf Coast's Dunk City run. Those moments don't happen if the selection committee decides those teams don't deserve to be there. The same goes for college football. Yeah, Tulane and James Madison got blown out this year. But that doesn't mean a group of 5 team won't shock the world next year, or the year after that. The whole point of sports is that anything can happen on any given Saturday. So before we rush to kick out the little guys, remember what makes college football special in the first place: hope, opportunity, and the chance for David to beat Goliath. Take that away, and you're left with just another professional league. Except the players still aren't getting paid what they're worth. All right, that's my take on the college football playoff debate. What do you think? Should group of 5 teams keep their spot, or is it time for a power conference only system? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more college football analysis. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the playoff coverage. And if you want to support the channel, check out the affiliate links in the description below for some awesome football gear. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Let's go!